Hello Earth family. I just wanted to share with you my whole experience of last week, and also the beauty of feeling that connection with our loved ones in the spirit world. Whether you are an effective medium and you have that ability to connect and hear the words of your loved ones in the spirit world, or whether you're just aware of the energies around you sometimes just spotting the little signs that our loved ones from the spirit world may place around us, just letting us know and reassuring us that they're there. Last week, at the beginning of, midweek, on the Wednesday I'd say, I suddenly got this prompting to go and visit some family in Brighton and to be with them. Now, the last time I'd seen them was a few years ago, and certain things in life had happened at that time, and I felt a little bit let down by them, and because of certain things related to the past that occurred, and I felt quite hurt and upset, and from that space of feeling offended and upset and betrayed, so to speak, I reacted. This is going back a few years ago, and I haven't really spoke to them since then. Now, obviously, my journey over the following 3 years and further healing that I've been through, thanks to the angels and my loved ones in the spirit world, they've given me this deeper understanding to the point where I've healed all of those hurts, and I see from a deeper perspective, and I realise that those rifts in the family aren't necessary anymore. I realise that I don't need to have any hurt to hold on to anymore. That part of me has gone. So I just felt that it was time to build those bridges again, and just to take the opportunity to in person, share this with my loved ones on the earth, and to build those bridges. So that's what we did. So I let the family know that I was coming to spend the day, and just to take my daughter for a day out, and if they'd like to come and meet us, it would be lovely to meet up. And they did, bless their hearts. They kindly did say that they would come to meet me. And it ended up being quite a big family affair. My dad ended up coming as well. And we had the most beautiful day together. And I got to share what I needed to say. And there was tears, there was hugs, there was laughter. And it was wonderful. Now, what I'm getting at here is ultimately, and we even said it on that very day, is that this would not have happened if it wasn't for my granny in the spirit world. Anybody who's read my book, A Survivor of Love, I talk about my granny in that book. For the short time that I knew her in person, because she always lived abroad in Mauritius, and the time that she came to live with us in England, was quite a short time, and then sadly she passed away with cancer. She left a big impact and imprint on my heart, and she has stayed with me, and she has been one of the massive influences in waking me up to this whole side to myself. And she has been the one to support me, to reassure me, and to help me not to be scared of this side of myself as well, this side of myself that does connect with these other energies. So on the Wednesday I had a meditation, and I literally just come round from meditation, and my granny was suddenly there, and it was like, it's time to make amends. And as soon as I felt her there and I heard this, I knew exactly what she meant. So straight away, I can quite act on impulse. Straight away, that's when I sent the message to my family, and very quickly everything got sorted out. And then on the Saturday we went. Now, on the way in the car, I was telling my dad this story, the only reason I'm coming down here today is because Granny kind of gave me this prompting and made me realise that this is all part of the past, and I just need to put a line under that now so that I can move on and to make things better so that everybody feels better, because I'm sure there was things said a few years ago that I would have said that also offended, and I don't want to carry on my days knowing that I've hurt people in any way. And if there's a way that I can make amends and to resolve that, to take away anybody's pain, or even if it's to say sorry, you know, we all make mistakes, and being brave enough to admit that, to move on, is a big thing. So on the way there in the car, I was telling my dad this story, and my dad had plugged in his iPhone so he could listen to all his music in the car, because we like our Indian music, all the Bollywood tunes, quite old ones as well. So he plugged it in, and different songs were coming on one after the other. There wasn't a problem with any of them. So I just was telling my dad this story, and I just kind of got to the tail end of this story. And then I was saying, oh, you know, it's not going to the next song for some reason. They're trying to skip it, and they're trying to skip it. They skipped through 3 songs, and the very next song to play was, for any Asian people out there or Bollywood fans, it was a song from Dil To Pagal Hai, the movie, and the song is called Pyar Go. And whenever my granny comes to me, sometimes I don't even feel her. She just puts the song in my head, and it's quite an old song, going back sort of nearly 20 years ago probably. And she just plays this song, so I hear it in my thoughts, in my inner ears. And the words are Chandni kuch kaha. Well, basically the words to this song are talking about the moon, and seeing your face in the moon, so beautiful. Now, when my granny was alive, and in the short time that she lived with us, I was about 9 years old around this time, and I used to go upstairs and lay on the bed with her, and right next to her bed there was this great big window. We used to just lay at night time looking out the window, and there was the big full moon. And I remember quite a few occasions where I would be laid on the bed and we would just be laid together looking at the moon. And so whenever she'd play this song for me in my thoughts, whenever I'd feel her with me, she would play that song to me. And I knew that was Granny, and instantly I would have that memory of us laid on the bed together. Well, yes, so as we're driving in the car, I'd just finished telling my dad this story. The next 3 songs on his playlist would not play, and it went straight to that particular song. The minute it started playing, I just smiled, and I said to my daddy, I said, oh, listen, that's Granny, because he knows that that's the song. I've told him many times that's the song she plays to me. So when we arrived there, we had a wonderful day, and we all sat and we had our meal together, and we all just sort of gave thanks to Granny, because we knew that ultimately this wonderful evening that we all had together, we had a lovely meal. Like I said, we smiled, we laughed, we cried, and it was wonderful. And it was Granny completely from the world of spirit that guided that whole coming together. She initiated it all. Without her, it wouldn't have happened, because she's the one that came to me and said, it's time to make amends. And then instantly I just thought, okay, Brighton, Saturday, let's go. So yeah, in many ways, this is just one of the many little examples I'm sharing with you, but this is just something more recently that happened. And I know that my granny, she would have been smiling down, because this is my auntie's mother, my dad's mother, You know, I know she would have been smiling down. It would have been beautiful for her to have seen all the family together. Well, some of the family together. It's a big family, that side. But it would have been beautiful to have seen us all together and enjoying each other's love and company and laughing amongst each other. So yeah, like I said, there's many ways in which our loved ones from the spirit world can communicate and connect with us. You might suddenly smell an odour or a scent that reminds you, whether it be a cigar, a cigarette, a type of perfume that just comes from nowhere. You smell it, and the instant you smell it, it reminds you of them. You know, it could be a song that plays on the radio. It could be something you see on the TV. Absolutely anything. There's times when you could just be sat not even doing much, and a momentary memory just pops into your head of a time in life that you shared with that loved one in spirit. You know, especially whenever that happens, know that that memory hasn't just come from your own memory banks. It's been ignited. It's been woken up. And this is how spirit can also work with us. They can wake up certain memories. They can tamper with certain parts of the brain to invoke these memories, to mess around with your sense of smell so that you smell them. Sometimes to see that little shadow out the corner of your eye, or even a slight apparition of a loved one in spirit. You know, these energies, they're able to work with the chemistry and the workings of our brain makeup to induce these kind of visions, smells, memories. They're amazing. They're amazing in the way that they work with us, and it's never to be afraid of. Never, never. You know, it's natural to be afraid of the unknown. But if all you can know is love, then what is there to be afraid of? You know, these energies, they're coming to you because they love you. They just want to remind you that they're around you, that you're not alone, that they're trying to help you. Just as my granny last week, she helped me massively. There's been a couple of occasions when my auntie that we visited on Saturday was supposed to have been coming over, and I was meant to have been seeing her a few times over the last year, and for one reason or another we actually didn't get to see each other. I see now that it wasn't meant to be at that time, because I hadn't gone through the adequate healing channels that was necessary for me to be able to release certain things entirely, to have created that beautiful moment that came about when it finally did happen, that meeting. So everything for a reason. But keep your loved ones in spirit close. And often we forget those that we never met. We forget those that maybe we were too young to remember very well when they passed away. But those loved ones in spirit haven't forgotten you. And, you know, ultimately, you come from a place that has, however many generations back, come from them. You are a part of them. You're their legacy, if you like. And they're not going to forget you. They're watching out for you. So as many as you think you have watching over you within the heavenly realms, trust me, there's a whole lot more. You are supported in so many ways, and not just from our loved ones in spirit, but those that sit within the higher realms also. You all have your own guardian angels. We have our spirit guides. As to whether or not you wish to develop in being able to connect with these guardian angels or our spirit guides, is completely up to you. But just knowing that you have these energies around you, that they're there supporting you, loving you every step of the way, just knowing that is beautiful. Sometimes You might feel their energies around you. Those moments when you're feeling really low, really down, those are the times especially not to forget that you're not alone, that there are these beings around you. Whether you can hear them, see them, smell them, feel them, it doesn't matter. They are. There's not one moment of this life that you are abandoned and left alone, no matter how alone inside you feel. Sometimes when our energies get so low, it's even harder to feel the presence of some of those beautiful energies around us. In a sense, we create our own blocks to being able to feel, and that's why that can happen. But as long as you just remember. Now, I've been asked to share Archangel Michael. Has been raring to share something with you through one of these videos, so I don't even know what he wants to say. He asked me to use his box of oracle cards. These are by Doreen Virtue, the Archangel Michael cards. Doreen Virtue's got some wonderful and many selections of different kind of cards. If you're going to go out and buy yourself a box of oracle cards, there's so many to choose from. Just go with what you feel guided with. Now, I'm saying to Archangel Michael at this time, well, what can we deliver? Is it a teaching? Is it a message? I said, because, you know, anybody who's watching this right now, you might not be watching it from when I'm doing this video. You might not be watching it for a few months or year or whenever. So this needs to be something meaningful. So I'm going to take the card, I'm going to leave it in the hands of Archangel Michael. And I'm going to take the card, and then I'm going to bring you the teaching that he wishes to deliver to you at this time. I have no idea what it is, so let's see. So with these oracle cards, they can be used just as a channel, as a connection for you to have this communicative bridge with the angels. And truly you have to trust from your heart that that this is your channel, that the angels are communicating with you through these cards. So whichever card you feel guided to, you take that card and then you see what it is for you. So with these box of cards, it comes with a little book, and it's all in alphabetical order. So you basically, you go to whatever the card was and you read the meaning for it. Now, when I work with these cards, I'm connected directly to the angels, so they'll bring other meanings through for whoever I'm giving a reading to with it. But they are beautiful to use for yourself, whether you have the ability to hear the angels yourself or not. These cards are great because they have the little book as well. Excuse me. Yeah, and they can be wonderful in just giving you a little bit of guidance, reassurance, upliftment. So, the card that Archangel Michael, oh, that is just too perfect. Guarded and protected. Please excuse my terribly painted nails right now. I need to redo them. However, guarded and protected is the card that Archangel Michael has come out with. And just before I was pulling this card, I knew that one of the things that I needed to share with you of Archangel Michael is what he represents and what he is, one of his most powerful traits in being able to help anyone and everyone that works with Archangel Michael. So with the archangels, they're always there in the background. They know everything that's going on and everything about us, deep down. Things that we didn't even realize about ourselves, they're very good at bringing to the surface and helping us to be aware of. However, when we require the assistance and the guidance of these wonderful archangels, we must ask for their love. Well, not for their love, I'm sorry. Of course, we are constantly loved. But for their assistance to help us with these particular parts of our life journey. So to help us to feel reassured, to guide us on our path in whichever way, we must call upon the angels. And sometimes you can call upon specific angels to help us with specific areas of our life. This then grants them the permission to help you. So if I was to call on Archangel Michael, I would thank him for already doing whatever it is that I'm asking for. So I would call in through an affirmation his assistance. So for example, if I'm feeling a little bit wary of walking back from the train station at night on my own, as I leave the train station, I would instantly call Archangel Michael in as, thank you, Archangel Michael, for keeping me safe and protected on my journey home. Done. And I know that immediately, I know it's going to be a safe journey. I know that I'm going to be all right. I've got Archangel Michael guiding the way, protecting me. My shield, the shield and his sword there in front of me, and I'm safe. And this is one of the major traits that Archangel Michael delivers, amongst many others. So Archangel Michael is he helps to diminish our fears. He helps to calm us down in those times when we can feel quite panicked or anxious about anything. He's wonderful at bringing solution to certain obstacles or worries that we have. Maybe a way to get round certain things so that they no longer become a worry. He's wonderful at bringing deeper insight to some of those fears and anxieties that we have, so that, I'm just putting the cards away, so that we become less fearful. Helps us to see another perspective. What I love about Archangel Michael is when I'm doing readings, he comes through in so many different ways. Like, he has such a humorous character. He brings plenty of giggles and upliftment. He can be quite earthly with his humour at times, okay? There's been times that I've been given readings and he's literally rolled in on, in some little sports car with the roof down, and he's like, hey. And I can't even remember what the message was for now, but it was like what message came through with that. But in so many different ways, he will come through however necessary. So if someone's just needing a bit of upliftment, if someone's needing a bit more lightheartedness, if someone's needing to see maybe a lighter version to the situation that they're going through at that moment in time, or on a more serious note, if he needs to come through much more delicately to help with matters of the heart or serious trauma that somebody's been through, he will just switch and change his character, his humour, in whichever way that is necessary for the person having that reading at the time. In so many ways, in just about every way, this wonderful, wonderful angel can help you. So you can learn more and hear more about Archangel Michael. I'm sure there's plenty of sites you can read up on him. Books that Doreen Virtue has out as well. But yeah, maybe this is just another side of Archangel Michael, which is just a way that I can share with you through my own experience that some of the books don't necessarily hit on. And that is that he's a bit of a joker, really. And I love him dearly. He's helped and assisted me in many, many aspects of my life. He's great at helping you to maybe face some of the things that you have been putting to one side. He's good at raising certain awareness to parts of yourself that maybe you have been putting to one side. So, and he can be very clever in how he brings that to you. So meditating with Archangel Michael can be wonderful. well, it will always be wonderful. Now, if you call in Archangel Michael into your meditations and you feel like you haven't really seen much, or felt or heard much, don't worry. Just go with it, and whatever comes, whatever you feel hasn't come, it's all good. Because when you dedicate your time to meditation, you're dedicating time to yourself. And meditation is something that the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Now, when I'm, throughout some of these videos that I share with you, I am going to be maybe sharing some quite in-depth, detailed meditations, things that come through for me. Now, when I first started out in my journey of meditation, I could probably sit for a good hour and not have got anything that I felt I hadn't got anything. But what I had gained was peace, calmness, tranquility, inner stillness and well-being. The way that meditation works with us on a physical level and on a chemical level is all ultimately helping us in our overall well-being through energy, chemistry, our biological makeup. And, it can lower the blood pressure, slow down the heart rate, and it can just put the body into a state of almost as if you're asleep, but you're not actually asleep. But what happens while we're sleeping is the body is repairing. The body goes into a slight shutdown where it's able to repair certain cells, any wear and tear of the body. And this all can go on during your time of meditation. So just know that whether it's on a biological, chemical level, whether it's through energy, whether it's through being a part of the other beings that come close to us, to bring that healing, that's ultimately what we're getting through all meditation that we ever do. It's an incredible healing experience. As time goes on, you might building these stronger connections with the angels, with the ascended masters, with the unicorns, mermaids, fairies. You might start connecting with planetary beings, with planets themselves, and in all different ways, tapping into other sources for wisdom, for teachings, for growth, for expansion on the self. But all of that can take time. To this day, for as many meditations as I sit and I draw wonderful wisdom and messages, healing, I can sit for just as long and not hear anything, not see or feel anything. Inside, I know something's happening. So yeah, don't worry if you feel like, oh, nothing's happening, I'm sat here, I'm not feeling anything. Something is happening, and the more you give, the more you will start to get. Okay. So yes, please do. I might in time share meditation with Archangel Michael. Yeah, okay, he's telling me yes, I will. I will be sharing a meditation with Archangel Michael, and I will be posting that. So many angel blessings to you all, and remember, always keep your loved ones in spirit close. They're with you. Just be aware of it occasionally and send out a little thank you. There's so many people working to support you.